In the last unit, we discovered that a number of basic functions are contained in the 3.5 layouts we have for our control panel. To gain more control over these functions, we can use specialized panels for doing specific tasks. These panels are listed under the Window pull-down menu. By default, you'll see that a couple of these panels are already selected: the Control Panel and the Toolbox. Others you can see, but they're not checked in the pull-down menu list. That's because they're not open. They're actually nested over here to the right of the document window on the side dock. Earlier in this chapter, we opened one of these panels to select the color fill that we were going to use inside our oval. Panels can be accessed by the Window pull-down menu, but that takes work and it takes you away from working on your page. For functions that you expect to do normally, you can plant panels that will make your life easier on the side dock, opening and closing them as you need them. For example, we want to be able to format text on the fly. We can do that by choosing the Window, Type and Tables, Character menu command. This opens the Character panel, as we can see right over here. Now, it doesn't look much different than the things that you can select from the Control panel. The same things seem to be in both places, just arranged a little bit differently. But if you move your cursor to the upper right of that panel, to that spot where you see the down-pointing triangle and a number of horizontal lines, and click on it, you can open the Flyaway menu, where more options are available for formatting type. There are all kinds of options that we can use to format Adobe OpenType fonts, for example, among other things. We'll use some of these extended features in the Character panel later in this InDesign course. Now, if you would, please go to the Window pull-down menu and select Type and Tables, Paragraph menu command. And when you do that, it opens the Paragraph panel. Like the first panel we opened, it lets us do pretty much everything we saw earlier in the Control panel's Paragraph Attributes layout. But going to the Flyaway menu here and clicking on it, as we saw with the Character panel, lets us do a whole heck of a lot more. We're going to put these two panels together. Put your cursor in the middle of the word Paragraph in that Paragraph panel. Hold the mouse button down and drag it next to the top of the Character tab in our Character panel. You'll know you're at the right spot because the panel will be highlighted. Release the mouse button to nest the two tabs in a single panel. If you click on the two left-pointing triangles right here to the upper right-hand corner, you'll see that the panel shrinks down to a couple of buttons, actually looking a whole lot like the buttons that are stored over in the side dock. They're actually going to look even more like them when we put them in there in just a moment. Take your cursor and put it in the dark gray bar at the top of that panel. Hold the mouse button down and drag it over to the gray area at the bottom of the side dock, then up just below the last button for commands that are stored in that dock. When you get to the right place, you'll see a colored highlight underneath that last button. Release the mouse button, and the panel buttons will be anchored in the side dock. Opening and closing those panels is as easy as clicking either button and then switching between the tabs to get back and forth between the Character and the Paragraph layouts that you have inside of there. Now, you have the option of opening all of these buttons at the same time by going to the dark gray bar all the way up at the top of the side dock and clicking the two left-facing triangles. This opens all the buttons up as panels in the side dock, though sometimes you may have to make some adjustments or selectively close a set of nested panels to get more room to work on the ones that you actually want to use. To collapse the Pages panel, for example, just click on the up and down pointing arrowheads on the left of the tab. This folds that panel up, just like so, and gives me more room for the color swatches and the color information that we have below. You may have noticed as you switch between the side dock panel and button view like we have here, let's just switch it back. that the width of the document window changes accordingly. That's because the width of the toolbox over here, the document window here in the center, and the side dock are all linked. When you make either the toolbox or the side dock narrower, the document window widens to fill that space. As you get more experience with InDesign CS6, you may find that you don't need to see all these names to the right of the icons for the buttons that we have in the side dock to know what they contain. The icons will just be good enough. When you place your cursor between the side dock and the document window, that cursor turns into a double-headed arrow. Hold the mouse button down, then roll the line between the side dock and the document window all the way to the right. At the dock's smallest size, the names disappear, but all of the icons are still available so you can see which panels are actually available. At the dock's smallest side, this makes it easier for us to get more space to work within the document window, and that's truly a winning combination.